Hello, my broskies and broskies of the Maverick Nation. Yes. Just to the top 5 not too long ago, and I'm back. A little bit more confident this time. That I can do an entire top 10 without blowing my cap. My Capcom. No, not Capcom. It's more Sega. You know why it's more Sega? Because this is freaking top 10 Sonic the Hedgehog freaking characters. Woo! Yeah. However, spoilers, you might not exactly like what I did for our number 10 pick, considering how I maneuvered around the pooch instead of screwing it. Yes, indeed it is time. Because, I felt I've expressed my love for Sonic enough. I think. I at least think I'd like to have said that I expressed my love for Sonic enough to warrant this. However, expressing your love for something means you also have to express the fact that you have the lowest of the bar of something, even whenever considering your favorites. And it just so happens that that lowest of the top 10 bar is a tie. Because I can't really have one character here without the other character being here. Just because... oh, my brain won't let me. My brain's gonna make me do something I may or may not regret. Number 10. Jet and Rouge. Yeah. Jet and Rouge. Both of them are my number 10. Why? Well, Jet is freaking badass. And Rouge is just... she looks like she could kick my ass. I mean, to be honest with you guys, you Sonic aficionados out there, I wish I could call myself one of you, but a man can dream. A man can dream. He surely can. Jet just has that cool factor because, also I like the color green. And the reason why Irish the Hedgehog isn't going to be on this list, even though I really do like him, is because he technically doesn't have a character yet. He hasn't even been in any of the Sonic the Hedgehog games so far. So, yeah. Unless it turns out there's secret DLC in one of the more recent games that allow you to play as Irish. I mean, just can't put him on here. Because even though he may be a part of the official Sonic universe, he doesn't have experience like these characters do. He doesn't have the experience with touching my heart. And I know that sounds so damn weird. It makes me sound so much like a furry. But I'm not. I just have preferences. Okay, guys? And, Jet, just for the cool factor alone. I mean, dude looks like, just like the phrase, "I'ma cut ya." Yeah, that's Jet in a nutshell. Jet, the freaking, I think, Hawk? Anyways, Jet is actually pretty damn cool looking. He has that cool ass looking design. And, you know, the swag and all that mean streak. You know, he's just one of those characters like you just look at and like, that's awesome. But beyond design, really, he doesn't have that much going for him. Sure, he has that smug personality, but it can only get you so far. And as for Rouge, why she's placed at number 10, along with Jet, well, I like Rouge, and I think she's a cool character and all. And she does have a little bit more over, you know, Jet and the personality way of things. And no, I am not talking about her one polygon. Although that was hilarious, Snap Q. They're my favorite polygon. Anyways, basically, yeah, Rouge actually does have, I will indeed say I feel constantly like there's more personality to the character. You know? She has more personality to the character than Jet has to his character. Plus, she can freaking do like karate and shit in Sonic Heroes. And there's even the dummy ring bombs. And well, overall in Sonic Adventure 2, she felt like a character in of herself, like something like it wasn't. You didn't just buy the game for Shadow. You bought the game for the entire Dark package, being Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. It felt like all three of those characters were something to buy the game for, because Rouge just has this personality about her. And that's a lot more I can say for Jet, but Jet, you know, having his cool factor, you know, it kind of equilibriums it out for me. You know, for me. And my number 9 pick, a lot of people are probably going to kill me for. So this is the least I can do. Explain my reasoning for why it's a tied spot for number 10. Number 9 is Amy frickin' Rose. Oh my god, I can already hear people screaming at me. The Amy haters. Flame shield up? Oh yeah, shit, I don't have a flame shield. Shit. Anyways, the reason why I like Amy, well, Pico Pico Hammer is awesome. Like a little Sonic Adventure 1, you can play whack-a-mole with the enemies. And I wish we were a little bit more true in 06, but not so much. I mean, kind of, but not so much. Adventure 1 was a lot more whack-a-mole with the enemies. And so, yeah. A lot of people have their reasons for not liking Amy. And personally, I think that, you know, the whole, you know, bimbo stereotype and the whole, oh, she's just there to be Sonic's arm candy. She's just there to be the female, you know, add-on to the male protagonist. She's just there, you know, to be there and to, you know, clog up the character space. You know, like instead of that, Jesus Christ. Please, why do you always have to do that every time I say that? Guys, this is my dad.
Actually, play that they did up there. Yeah. Anyway.
You're welcome. You're welcome very much. Anyways, I have that now on me. Okay, where was I? Yes, Amy, yeah. A lot of the complaints of, she's annoying, she's just main character arm candy, she's just there to, mm, just fill up space for characters that actually could be useful. Yeah, I think a lot of those complaints are invalid. Amy Rose, whenever she peaks, she peaks. Because, 06, she literally saves Sonic. Like, role reversal. She is the one saving him. And it's the same in Adventure 2. She gets Sonic out of there. Like, out of the prison. After the second time that he's already been in there. So, yeah. People saying that Amy Rose is useless. I just gave you guys 2 examples right there that, proves that she isn't. Plus, she is playable. I mean, she's not completely non-playable. There is some charm to being able to whack-a-mole the shit out of Eggman's robots. And, her whole thing with the flickies and E102 Gamma in Sonic Adventure 1, that touches my heart real good. And that whenever I get some feels, I just turn into Silly Putty. Sonic Adventure 1, take me away. And, well, she does really, indeed, show that she cares for Sonic. And it's more than just main character arm candy. She shows that she cares, and that she's even willing to smack some sense into other characters who have no idea what they're doing in order to, not only save Sonic, but, save them from themselves. I'm talking to you, Silver the Hedgehog. So yeah, Amy is actually a lot better of a character than people give her credit for. I'm not going to say that she's the best thing since Wonder Bread, but, she is a lot better than people give her credit for. And now, my number 8 pick. Espio the Chameleon. Oh my god. I just had to have a ninja character in here, because ninjas are freaking beasts. And Espio's beast. In Sonic Heroes, he is literally like ninja. Like Ninja Chameleon. Like where else are you gonna find Ninja Chameleon unless you're playing Mortal Kombat or something? Unless you're playing Mortal Kombat, where else are you gonna find a Ninja Chameleon? Oh boy. Yes. Espio. He is here, this placement, well, because I like a lot of the other characters a lot more, and because he's part of the Chaotix. And I don't necessarily seem to like a lot of the Chaotix. Vector is okay. Charmy is okay. And Knuckles is just there to be a member for like 2 seconds every time that they get a call. And like, wasn't there another one? Mighty the Armadillo? Yeah. No one barely even remembers Mighty, so he could barely even be considered a character in general, just because of how many times people forget that he exists. So, yeah. I actually kind of feel bad for Mighty. So whenever people can barely remember the fact that you exist, that's how much of a little of an impact you've made. And even in your own damn game, like Knuckles Chaotix, that game, like the whole tether thing. Yeah. People just seem to forget that Mighty exists. So Espio for me is the one you just have to love. Because out of all of the freaking Chaotix, including Knuckles, he is the best. I'm just gonna say it right there. He is the numero uno best. Because he has so much ninja swag. He is just, every time he's on screen, I feel like just jumping for joy because of the shit that he can do. You know? It's a shame that he's a speed character in Sonic Heroes. And, the speed characters are the ones that control the worst in that game. The freaking power characters and the flying characters control a lot better than the speed characters. And seeing as Espio is a speed character in that game, oh my god, he would probably gotten a higher spot if it wasn't for that shit. Like, actually, no, I'm not gonna lie to myself, he would have still probably been here. But it's just sad that since he's a speed character, he has to control like shit. Because in that game, all of the speed characters control like the moment you touched a button on the freaking controller, or even slightly move the analog stick, all of a sudden it's like they exploded in spontaneous combustion off the freaking face of the earth. And it's even worse with all of the characters in Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, in that, you don't even have to really do all that much actual input in order for things to go horribly wrong. At least in Sonic Heroes, you had to actually input something in order for things bad happen. But no, in Shadow the Hedgehog, you just have the game there and automatically bad things happen. You don't even have to input much at all. And that's just sad. And so Espio, as badass of a Ninja Chameleon dude he is, just can't place him that high. And so Espio was number 8. And number 7 here. Our little transition to number 7. Cream the Rabbit. No, not cream and cheese. Cream the Rabbit. Just Cream the Rabbit as a character by herself. Yeah. The reason why just Cream herself, well, the cheese is just another chow. Just another one of them. You just gave it a name instead of just having it be a chow. Like just another random chow. Hell, chaos is more interesting than frickin' cheese. So, yeah. That's why Cheese did not join Cream whenever I was making this list. Now, why does Cream have a bigger thing, than Espio, have like a better chance than him? Well, first of all, you know, the Chaotix, I never really even liked the Chaotix. I'm not saying I like Team Rose, because Big is a part of Team Rose. So I really can't say that I like Team Rose, because Big is there. It kind of feels like blasphemy if you do that. At least to me it does. So, yeah, why indeed do I like Cream more? Well, quite simply, she is freaking adorable. And, well, since she's not a speed character in Sonic Heroes, she is actually able to control decent and not completely allergic to input, like controller input. So, yeah, that's a plus. That's another plus for her character. Not only is she adorable, but she does not control like shit. Oh, and the advanced games, I'm not really that aware of how she is in the advanced games, except for that one thing that you can do, which half her lick the ice cream, which adds even more to the adorable factor, and plus, just the fact that they even put that in there, like Sonic Advance 2, I think, is whenever she first showed up. I think Sonic Advance 2? But just the fact that they put that in there in general, I think they knew what they were doing. The devs. I think they knew what they were doing. So, and the fact that they probably did know what they were doing means that just Cream. Plus, I mean, she is a freaking bunny rabbit. I don't know what it is, but I just have a soft spot for rabbits. They're just something about rabbits. I just have a soft spot for rabbits. I'm not a furry, I just have a soft spot for cute animals. Okay? And I guess the soft spot has just drilled its way so much into my heart that I have to put her over Espio. So, Cream should be really lucky that she has that soft spot for me. Like, Cream should be really lucky that she's an animal that I have a soft spot for. Because if she wasn't, she probably wouldn't be at this placement. Over Espio. Freaking Chameleon ninja dude. Almost choked on that. So yes. Number 6. Sonic the Hedgehog. You guys might be rolling your eyes right now, like what? Now, why is Sonic so low on the list about Sonic characters? Well, I have my preferences, and it's my list. So, yeah, those are 2 reasons. Plus, well, he may be the main character, but he's not always 100% interesting. I mean, you don't have to be 100% interesting, but it's at least good whenever... It's kind of like the whole Jet and Rouge example. Like, Rouge had more to her, so she felt less Wonder Bread with some communist shades added on. Sonic, it's great and all, but I think his friends and his nemesis, Eggman, are what give him his strength. Oh, and plus that high-speed platforming. Jesus, I love friggin' Sonic generations. High-speed platforming, it's like real good shit. The few times I did get to play that game, it was really good. But Sonic overall, not making it really past the halfway point, it's really just because the strength of the character that he is always comes from the outside sources, not the inside source being the character itself, or him, herself. You know, if Sonic was interesting alone, like interesting enough to where he could be placed here alone, then maybe I would be a little bit more lenient. And, you know, he is indeed interesting. Don't get me wrong. He wouldn't be here. He wouldn't be a number 6 placement if he wasn't interesting. And he wasn't freaking cool as hell. I don't care what anybody says. Like, coolness factor, Sonic beats Mario out by a large margin. I don't care what anybody says. You know, that whole thing. Sonic beats Mario out on a large margin in a, you know, the scale of coolness. You know, that attitude, that really just different approach to video game character. Like, Mario is kind of the standard Wonder Bread, and Sonic, you know, whenever he was introduced, you kind of felt like that Wonder Bread was beginning to become less Wonder Bread and more Awesome Bread. So, I'm not going to say that the character is that themselves is all that bad. I'm just saying it feels like the external sources are what makes the character as good as they seem to be to other people, as high as he might be on other people's lists of, like, Sonic characters. But to me, since there's all this external force stuff carrying Sonic along, like, you know, he kind of lost, excuse me, he kind of lost it, like fell off the tracks. Just kind of like careened down. Yeah. However, now we are at the halfway point. Number 5, E102 Gamma. Yes, a character that is actually dead. Technically. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 1's E102 Gamma. I actually really like this character. I really like them. The entire story of E102 Gamma, the entire campaign of that E102 Gamma story in Sonic Adventure 1, it's just really interesting and really captivating what they can do. Like, whenever the devs put their mind to it. Whenever they put their minds to it, they can really create a really captivating, really interesting character. And that's what they did with E102 Gamma. So, yeah. Reasons for this being, well, Gamma's story overall is just a really sad one. I mean, he literally just came to terms with everything and decided the only way to, you know, give this all peace is if he destroys all of his fellow E-Series brethren and then has himself be destroyed in order to free all the Flickies trapped inside as power sources. Gamma literally figured this out, and then he made this his mission. He figured out about the power source, and he made it his mission to destroy all the E-series, then himself, whenever there were no E-series left, and basically that would be freeing all of the little birdies trapped inside of them. He literally went on a freedom fighter mission for all of these little animals. You know, very selflessly sacrificing everything that he could have had. Sacrificing his own happiness. Sacrificing everything. However, he never really seemed to falter in his mission. He went straight through, and even whenever he had to face his brother, E101, Beta, Mark II, whenever he had to face him a second time, in his Mark II form, basically, he still never wavered in, his actual, things. Like, he rebelled against his creator because he knew that this wasn't right. That these animals were being imprisoned and that wasn't the right thing to do. Gamma was truly a robot with a soul. And so that's why it's so really sad. And if you listen to Gamma's theme, it's really has a, that big hint of somberness to it that lets you know this is some heavy shit, especially for a Sonic game. For Sonic's first attempt at not really 3D, but, first attempt at entering, the next realm of, video games, Sega's first attempt at, hitting their mascot into the limelight of the next generation, for this being their first attempt, and for this to be a part of it, that's like a lot of balls. Because, this stuff is geared towards kids. So, to put something like that in there, that is heavy shit that you throw at kids. Like, damn, Sega was hardcore back in the day. And so, with our number 4 entry, we have the true Sonic. The Metal Overlord. Yes, that's right. I just had to put him in here with Gamma. I had to put him in here. Because you can't have a Sonic character list and not include the one true rival to Sonic. Eat your heart out, Shadow fans. Eat your heart out, Knuckles fans. Because the one true rival to the blue bar is the one that could truly outmatch his speed. Metal can go up speeds to Mach 5. And that's faster than Sonic has went against him. So, truly indeed, he outmatches Sonic in speed. And I did not mean to make that rhyme. So, yeah. And he doesn't just outmatch Sonic in speed, but his just overall drive to want to prove to everyone that he is the one true Sonic the Hedgehog. He is the actual Sonic the Hedgehog. He doesn't just want to kill Sonic, he wants to not just replace him, but, make it to where everyone has to know that he is the actual Sonic. he legit believes that. And it's Metal's straight up delusions that make his character for me. The delusion of thinking that he is actually the real Sonic the Hedgehog, to the point that you actually start to consider, are they really delusions? Is this a Sonic from a different universe? Could there have been a universe, an original universe, in which Sonic actually might have lost or maybe just been injured? And Eggman took advantage of this and made Sonic into a robotic killing machine that remembers being Sonic the Hedgehog. And, well, can't really get completely free of Eggman's control, because even at the end of Sonic Heroes, he went back to being, under Eggman. So you can't really get free, so what's the next best thing to do? Go along with the Doctor's plan, because he wants to kill Sonic, so, get rid of the Faker, and, everything will be Peachy King. Because at this point, he's probably so detached from his own life that he probably considers these people that Sonic considers friends to just be extras. And he won't consider them to be his friends until they've also been roboticized. He's just been so detached that he's just gonna go straight up genocide mode if he has to. He is so dead set, and he is so deep within these beliefs that he is the true Sonic, that you honestly get invested. At least I get invested. He is so convinced that he is the true Sonic that he'll do anything to prove it to anyone and everyone that will be able to listen to him, listen to his insane ramblings about him being the true Sonic. Or maybe he really is, and we've all been, controlling a second-rate, sort of, other dimension Sonic. Like, maybe everything past the point of Sonic 2 and Sonic CD, maybe everything past that point has just been, like, a different Sonic, because that game, Sonic CD, was all about time travel. What about universal travel? Like, different types of, dimensions and universes. Eggman could have used that to his advantage and, taken the weakened Sonic and kind of roboticized him and turned him into this killing machine via feeding him all of this, stuff and telling him, I can help you destroy the Faker. All you have to do is, serve under me, be loyal to me, and only me, and don't tell anyone about who and what you actually are underneath. And if that's the truth, that's some pretty dark and deep shit. I mean, Sega's went that way before. Sega's done some dark shit before, so I wouldn't put it past them. And, to think, what if it is the truth? If it is the truth, then that would just mean a whole different world of things for each and every person who's ever played a Sonic game past, the time in which all this happened. So, yeah. If this is indeed the case, then, it's kind of like panic rooming that shit. You gotta be very careful with what you do. And with Metal Sonic being number 4, the number 3 pick, Dr. Eggman himself, the little creator of these machines. Yes, 2 machines from Eggman, and now the Doctor himself. I just can't seem to get over Eggman. He even has a badass theme in Adventure 2. And there's a remix of it in Shadow the Hedgehog. I may not exactly like Shadow the Hedgehog, but the remix that they have in there of Eggman's theme in Adventure 2, it may not be as good as the original, but it's still pretty damn sweet to listen to. May not nearly be as fire as the original, but it's still pretty damn sweet to listen to every now and again. And I think there might actually be some dubstep in that remix. And if there is, that's just a whole nother level of cool. So, yeah. Basically, everything that the Doctor has accomplished over the years, in every game, that, he is the villain, he's accomplished so much, and he's done so much. He is literally one of the smartest freaking video game, mad geniuses, or just geniuses in general. He is just beyond smart. And to think, all that smarts, all that, intelligence gone to a guy who's using it all for, all sorts of different shit in order to get his way. To the point of actually using, a system that, uses animals as fuel sources. That's actually pretty metal. If you think about it, the whole roboticization thing is pretty damn metal. And considering it's in the first game, yeah, Sega, all the way even back in their first year of Sonic, were metal AF. In the way they chose to present how their main bad guy of their, flagship game did his dirty work. Of course he had the Eggmobile, but, all the badniks lying around, of course you could free them, but still, that is still metal AF. The way Dr. Robotnik chooses to do his things, on the base level. And he's even gone as far as to use alien species as fuel for mind control, and, even, used planets as, roller coaster ride, boss battles. And even, beyond that, there's even been instances where have Sonic not actually, know the things that he knew at that very moment, he would have been dead. So yeah, Eggman has actually gotten pretty close a couple times. And there have been some times where his plans have backfired, via the Werehog. So, yeah. And plus, not all of his creations are that willing to listen to him. And, that may just be a product of his over-genius mind, being too smart for his own good. And, well, with all of this smarts, you wonder how he would ever lose. But that's whenever you remember, he's going up against the fastest thing alive. So, really, can you blame him for his several failures? I mean, Sonic is the fastest thing alive, and he has all his friends with him, so, whenever his friends are actually around, he does have more loyal friends than others. So, yeah, you can kind of sweep that under the rug. What you can't sweep under the rug is our number 2 entry. Shadow the freaking Hedgehog. Yes, that's right. Shadow. He's basically like as he says, the ultimate life form. And he shows this in some of the coolest ways. Coming in at number 2, Shadow the Hedgehog. As badass as he is. And he has so much cool factor that, it's kind of tempting at times to put him in number 1. But then again, I remember who my number 1 spot is, and always has been, and that's whenever I realize I can't put him in number 1 because number 1 is number 1. So, that's kind of what's always held Shadow back. The fact that my number 1 choice is always going to be my number 1 choice. So, yeah. That's kind of like the main thing that holds him back from number 1 greatness. So, yes. What indeed does give Shadow this pedestal of at least being second best in my mind? Well, pretty much everything about him. Even the stuff that most people would think would be bad things, I could kind of find some sort of leeway. Even in the stuff that seems more crazy and outlandish about him, I can kind of find an excuse. Because, there's just this soft spot I have for Shadow's character and who Shadow is as, an individual. So, yeah. The further down the rabbit hole we go, the more I begin to realize Shadow isn't just badass because he's badass. He's badass for several reasons. And if I were to name them all off right now, this video would be probably over 2 hours long. Of me just rambling about Shadow the Hedgehog. It's just there's so many things that make Shadow great that it's kind of hard to describe. Just from day 1, I knew that this character was going to be one of my favorites. And whenever you can tell from day 1 that they're going to be one of your favorites, that's whenever you have the makings of a good character. And even his slower moments, cough cough Black Doom, cough cough Gun Commander. Oh, I seem to have gotten a cough today. Wonder what that's for. Why I got that. Never mind. It always seems like whenever he's working alongside somebody who he can play off of. Not really having to have them, hoist him up, but having, the ability to work alongside them. He works alongside Sonic, who works alongside Dr. Eggman. And all these characters, he works alongside them. He doesn't use them to hoist himself up because he can't keep up with the pace. He uses, all this stuff. Even Rouge and Omega, they're characters that he's able to bounce off of. And, he's even formed certain, rivalries, against Sonic and against Mephiles whenever he was a thing. So, yes. Shadow just meshes good with a lot of things that I like about Sonic in general as a franchise. A lot of the things I like about Sonic as a franchise, Shadow's able to mesh with perfectly. So, don't you dare tell me that he isn't a good character. Because, ups and downs as he may have come across, cough cough, Shadow the Hedgehog. Jesus, there's that cough again. So, yeah. Don't you dare go around and tell me that he's a bad character. Because I will fight you. He is a good character, and he deserves respect for all the good he's done. And it deserves to be mentioned, and it deserves to be talked about. However, my number one, I can't cherish enough. I already know who my number one is, so I'm not even going to have to look at my notepad. I hope you guys can hear me for this because I'm about to gush. Tails miles per hour. Yes, you heard me right. The little fox boy, two-tailed fox, is my favorite Sonic character in the whole wide world. Why? Why not? Dude's adorable. Dude's awesome. Dude can do anything with his smarts. Literally, same IQ as Eggman. IQ of 300. I mean, Jesus Christ. And you wonder why he doesn't, make more main appearances in games. He's appeared alongside Sonic, but he doesn't do a lot of those main roles. You used to be able to do a lot more with him, but now it's kind of like he's regulated to the Luigi of the thing. And I've always thought of Tails as more than just a Luigi. No, Tails is beyond just being a Luigi. Tails is beyond that. He fights alongside Sonic. So, where Mario and Luigi fight separately, in most main titles, yet they're still fighting for the same thing, Sonic and Tails, at least back in the old days, they fought alongside. So, just have him being regulated to the Luigi role, that hurts me inside because I am a big avid fan of Tails. I will probably do solo runs of Sonic 2 with Tails, just because of how much I love the little guy. I mean, just how much has been taken away from, this character. It obviously, it just, honestly, it just hurts me. So, yeah. And I gotta explain the reasons why I feel so strongly. You know that feeling you get whenever you see the starting menu, the starting thing of a game, you see Sonic pop out, you see Tails pop out, you see both of them, and you see Sonic 2, and it's you really want to play because they both look excited to go on in the adventure. Both Sonic and Tails look like they're ready and raring to go. And whenever you first start up in Emerald Hill Zone, it's literally okay, if you have Tails as the CPU, it can kind of get a little weird. That's what I'm gonna say. Not really annoying, but weird, more or less. Because half the time you don't even know where the guy is. But, he's at least trying to find you, the CPU. As Tails is at least trying to find you. And, if Tails gets injured along the way, dude can't actually die forever. So, that's one of the quirks about Tails' early Sonic. He couldn't really die forever. And if you had, unlimited continues, that just made the game a freaking blast. I mean, unlimited continues meant that you basically were God Mod before you even got the God Mod power-ups, the invincibility things, and all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and you get 50 rings, you jump, and automatically supersonic. But it's not about Sonic. It's about Tails and how, even whenever he's being controlled by the CPU, he's always trying to find you. And he's always trying to go on the adventure with you. So, just shows that even the CPU knows the role that Tails is trying to play here. He's trying to be the guy who's always alongside Sonic. And, whenever you get separated from Tails in that last stretch of the game, it feels almost like you're naked of, an essential part of the game. Tails has been an essential part of the game for so long that whenever he's not around, you kind of feel like you've been robbed. Just mugged and left out in the street to bleed out. So, yeah, that last stretch of the game can kind of be seen as kind of you've been, done dirty by Sega themselves. But, that last ending scene, whether you're supersonic or whether you're not supersonic, it doesn't matter because Tails is still there. Even if Tails knows that you have all the 7 Chaos Emeralds, he's still gonna fly up there to join his buddy. Yeah, Tails is that loyal. He's that good of a friend. And even though he may be a little bit cowardice at times, he is only really 8 after all. Around those times. And around Adventure 1 and 2, he's 11, I think. So, you can't really fault him for having a little bit of some cowardice in him. That's just little kids. They all have their own fears. So, really, it's almost like, seeing as this game is meant for little kids, it's like Tails is someone who they can relate to. And so, me being a little kid, around the time I got Mega Collection Plus, and I was able to play through Sonic 2, not Adventure 2, but Sonic 2, I was able to play through and I saw it and I was like, yes, this character is amazing. Like, maybe I didn't think this deep into it as I do now, but obviously there was some connection. Like, Tails, I always thought was this character, this really good, this really great character. And so it kind of does feel like you're being robbed whenever you lose contact with your little animal buddy. Like little anthropomorphic two-tailed fox. And that's the fun thing, like, he can fly with his two tails. That's something that's so cool. Like, he doesn't need, like, rocket boots, like rocket jet boots. He can just use his two tails as, like, a helicopter thing. And it doesn't matter if it makes logical sense or not. Hell, most of the things in Sonic don't make logical sense. But video games aren't supposed to make logical sense. Like, not all of them are. Like, think of all the times that you've ever played a video game and, like, count as many things as possible that make logical sense. Yeah, I bet you're probably not going to come up with a big number. Just me being myself, I bet you're probably not going to come up with a very big number of things that make logical sense. And so Tails being able to fly with his two tails, I mean, that's literally a part of his nickname that Sonic gave him. You know, Miles Prower being his original name, now he's Tails Miles Prower. And you know, the whole Miles Prower thing being a reference to miles per hour, I mean, that is just ingenious. Like, Sega, bravo. Bravo to you guys. Like, I'd tip my hat if I had it right now. I'd tip my hat off to you for something like that. Like, miles per hour, and you just turn it into miles per hour. Like, I tip my hat off to thee. You know, I told you guys I was gonna gush, so you should better be prepared for the gush. Like, Tails has always seemed to me like a good friend who is never going to leave me. And that is important to me, especially seeing as I have had so many friendships come and go. So, a video game character, even if they're a video game, like, I mean, dude's a video game character, but still, having a friendship which you know will never leave you, and, you know, there's been so many friendships in your life that have left you, and just left you out to be, like, wanting more, like, wishing that that friend had never left, and knowing that they'll probably not come back anytime in the future. And then you have this video game character. You know, they aren't actually real, but in the way that it feels whenever they're around you and you're around them, you want them to be real. I mean, if they're this loyal of a friend to you, you want them to be real, because if you had friends that were that good and loyal to you, I mean, that's like the ultimate dream for some people. Like, especially people that feel lonely. You know, this sense of loneliness. So, every time that I play as Tails or, you know, see Tails, I feel like I'm meeting that old friend again. And, it's almost like every time I see Tails, it's like, welcome back, old friend. I really missed you. Never leave me again. That's literally how it feels. That is how much I am connected to that character. And I don't care how many people are going to call me a furry or call me, like, any sort of name, because that is the connection I make with Tails Miles Prowler. That is the connection that I have with little guy. Hello, old friend. It's been very lonely without you. Please never leave. Please. And if you do, if by some off chance you have to leave, whatever you're doing, please promise me you'll come back. That's how deeply I feel about the character. Every time, it's just like, I feel glad that I have a Tails plushie, because at least in that, I know that I'll always have a little piece of my little, like, 8-bit, 16-bit, buddy. At least in that, I'll know I'll always have a little piece of him there with me. And so really, that is the one friend who will never leave me. And in so many friendships in my past, and even my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, that hurt a lot, actually, whenever I had to break up with her. And so, just having a friend around who I can just say, welcome back, friend. It was lonely without you. But now that you're back, we can have so many good times with each other. We can finally do what we have always wanted to do. And I know I sound so geeky and so weird and so just not like a person you would want your kids to listen to. But that's how much sentimental value Tails Miles Prower holds for me. He's not my friend that's always been there. He is the one thing, even though it's like a material thing, he's the one friend who's always been there and will always hold a special place in my heart. And because of that reason, and many others overall, that is why he is over every single last one. Even Shadow Hedgehog. Not even Shadow has that much of a connection with me. Tails has had a connection with me that is so deep, it's hard to explain in words. And so, guys, I think I might need a little bit of a, going out. But don't worry, I'll be back, but for a while, at least a tiny bit, Alonzo and Adas, because Dark Shadow Maverick is OUT out of here. Yeah, boys. Bye. Like, favorite, subscribe, and whatever in the description. Bye, my friends.